Alright, so I am back with number 2 on my hit list for today. So, one of the things I said in my Lolita vlog last time was that I wanted to do something called Subject and Frill. I still want to do Subject and Frill, but this particular subject, my very first subject, I'm going to just ruin it all for you, and I'm going to try not to fuck up my Subject and Frill, is I wanted to talk about an abandoned mansion in Pennsylvania, my home state, that's called Lynnewood Hall. So I'm partly through these 2 dudes that are like urban explorers. They went this year to Lynnewood Hall and walked around a lot of Lynnewood Hall. And God, this place. It is, let me give you the short abbreviated version without ruining my Subject and Frill. Lynnewood Hall is this big ass fucking mansion that's abandoned in a place called Wyncote / Elkins Park, Pennsylvania, that belonged to this guy, I forget his, George A.B. Winder. Winder family is old Philadelphia money, by the way. They're like an old school rich family from back in the day. So basically, the Winder family had this estate built. It got built in 3 years. I'll get into more in the history when I do Subject and Frill. And then the guy who owned it, his son, he threw money into the Titanic. And his son and grandson went on the maiden voyage of the Titanic. And we all fucking know how the Titanic situation panned out. So he lost his son, he lost his grandson, and 3 years later, they said he was sick, but everybody knows he died of extreme grief from that whole situation. He dies. So his remaining son inherits the place. He eventually dies, and nobody wants to undertake a 110-room mansion on like some ridiculous amount of acreage. I will have more concrete numbers when I do Subject and Frill. But nobody wanted to undertake that, and I can't say that I blame them. So it went from them, it passed hands a couple of times, it went to some church, the church went to another church, and the other church that it went to, some Korean church out of New York, basically was like, we can't handle this, we're gonna like put this bad boy up on the market. And the last time, I don't know if it's still currently on the market, but the last damn time I looked, which was like a year or 2 ago, it was on the market, but not on the market, so to speak. So basically, it's just been lying derelict in Wyncote / Elkins Park, Pennsylvania, since basically the 90s. And how I found it was my best friend her family used to live in Elkins Park, and basically I think she got her driver's license when she was 18, and she used to drive me to and from her parents' place in Elkins Park, and I would always ask, let's go past the mansion, because was and still kind of am obsessed with Resident Evil, and I was like, they should fucking film the Resident Evil movie here, because that looks like the Spencer estate, or it looks like the Arklay mansion, I should say. It looks fucking like the Arklay mansion. I was like, this should be where the Resident Evil movie gets filmed. So that was happening, and that was how I got to be obsessed with it. So as I said before I did this, I was like, I have spent the entirety of my adult life obsessed with Lynnewood Hall. So it's on the market, sort of, and it currently, at least at the last time I looked, was about $16 million. Now, when I did my pre-research for this, for Subject and Frill, somebody was like, well, it needs renovations, and you could renovate that place for like $3 to $4 million. Fuck that. After watching these dudes go through Lynnewood Hall, I'm halfway through. I watched all of part 1. I am a little bit into part 2, and I had to stop watching because it was literally making me so upset that I was about to start crying. And why it made me that upset was because going to all these places here in Europe, going to all these old-timey castles and seeing all this like really amazing architecture and all like the intricate shit they put in a damn door, like in a fucking door, like something that's so innocuous as a door has like all this ornate shit on it, and it's just like, wow, what the fuck? Nobody does this anymore. Nobody will like, I could not order a door like that if I like showed my titties and paid them 1,000 zillion billion dollars, but I could never get a door like that. So there's doors like that in Lynnewood Hall. It's like ornate shit all in the ceilings, ornate gold leafing all in the ceilings, and they're showing this, and I'm just like, this place is beautiful, and it's just being laid to fucking waste, just not doing anything, and it's all fucked up. And then Jamie was telling me that a teacher told her years ago that it has probably structural damage from them moving shit in and out of the house and not knowing how to properly remove some of that stuff, and it probably has foundational damage. Watching these two dudes go through Lynnewood Hall, they went down this weird ass fucking corridor in like the basement, and it was like basically the catacombs that led to where the fountains used to be, because he used to have really ornate fountains and stuff that got sold off, and where the works, like the structure stuff for the fountains was leaking and had all this water. And I'm like, okay, this spot definitely has fucking like substantial structural damage, because there's no one tending to the now fucked up fountains, and it's leaking, and they said the water that was down in there was black, and I'm just like, ugh. So like, there's structural damage. They were like, there's mold in places. So that's remediation. So whoever fucking is lying to people and saying, oh, it's only going to cost $3 to $4 million to fix, fuck that. The original estimate to fix some of the shit at Lynnewood Hall was originally $50 million. I'm thinking it might be a little higher than that, because mold remediation and foundational structural shit on a fucking 110 room mansion, I can't even be, when you say structural foundational issues, that's already a couple $1,000 on a regular situation. I can't imagine what 110 room mansion costs to fix the fucking foundation into. Then you're talking mold remediation, another expensive project somebody would have to undertake. I don't even want to know what that costs. Then they have shit like, they have I think I want to say a hydroelectrical plant on there. I would want to fix that. I would, like, this place will cost zwillions, and I know that's not a real word, but it's going to cost 11 zwillion dollars to fix, and nobody has that kind of fucking money. And I'm just like, this is going to be a mansion that's going to end up getting razed to the fucking ground, because either the state of Pennsylvania needs to take it and be like, okay, we're going to like try to have like a fundraiser and get shit together to try to save this, because I think it is the last Gilded Age mansion in the U.S. And I'm like, it ain't gonna make it. I don't think it's gonna make it. I am on, and have been on for a while, the Facebook group Save Lynnewood Hall, and then they have I'm on like the early years of Lynnewood Hall images thing on Facebook, which I don't really go on Facebook. That's neither here nor there. And they really want to save this place, and I think it should be saved. But after looking at the shit these dudes who went in there this fucking year, 2021, I don't know. Like, I just don't think it's salvageable. Like, not with the water in the catacombs. Some of the sub basement was flooded out, and where I stopped, they were showing something on the ceiling, but it's crumbling. It was like this beautiful wood ceiling, and it's crumbling, and it just breaks my heart that shit like this, all that love and care that went into that, building that mansion. And I know it's kind of like it was like a big ostentatious thing during the Gilded Age, when basically it was like hyper wealth disparity. Sound familiar, but whatever. I know it seems like a frivolous thing, but you're going to lose it. You're going to fucking lose that spot, and it'll be the last Gilded Age mansion that gets destroyed, because it's just so fucked up and no one is caring for it. And I'm like, that poor building. It wasn't that nobody wanted it, because it was just a bad set of circumstances that made that building fucked up the way it is. And it would be nice if somebody undertook it, but after seeing what I think I'm like 8 minutes in, and it's like a 40-minute thing on part 2. I don't know if I can get through part 2 because it was heartbreaking to see that Lynnewood Hall got that fucked over because people were pulling shit out of it and didn't know what they were doing. It's just been left neglected. They had sold like the skylights, the stained glass skylights had been sold decades ago, and it's just like, this is fucked up. This is super fucked up, and somebody really, like, it would have to be a group of investors to just come in and be like, yo, we're going to undertake this, we're going to save this, and we're going to do the right thing for this building. But it as I was saying to myself as I'm watching all this unfold, I'm like, even if you did get a group, like a gigantic fucking group of investors to just be like, this is what we're going to do, you would have to turn it into something that would make some kind of money, because I can only imagine the tax, the like, not estate tax, what's that called, the homestead tax or whatever, when I can't remember the name of it, but if you own a house, you still have to pay taxes on it. So God only knows how much that would cost in taxes, but it would have to be turned into something that would be an extremely lucrative, like excessively lucrative venture to be able to balance out the money that you are damn sure gonna lose renovating that spot. And by the way, and I'll mention this when I do Subject and Frill, there was a second smaller mansion on that spot, but it got hit by lightning sometimes in the 50s and burned to the fucking ground. So God only knows what that looked like. And I only found that out by sheer dumb fucking luck. So, and most people don't talk about that, but we gonna fucking lose Lynnewood Hall, and I'm gonna cry, because I've always, if I had, in my head, I have $11 zillion to my name that I could throw into that to make it into a girls' school that focuses on STEM. And that has always been my dream for Lynnewood Hall, to take Lynnewood Hall, refurbish it, and turn it into Lynnewood Girls Academy. That's never going to happen, because I really don't have $11 zillion. I have probably like about 4 in the bank right now. So... and I don't mean 4 zillion, I mean fucking $4. So, yeah, that's fucking happening. So, yeah, but, like, I hate to see something that amazing, that structurally beautiful, just go to shit. And it's going to get torn down, because it's just so much wrong with it. That if somebody doesn't get it the fuck together and, like, club their rich fucking friends together right fucking now, that place is going to get destroyed. And I hate to see it, because it's goddamn gorgeous. I think I'll try to post links to stuff in the description so you could go see it. Go see pictures of it in its former splendor, and then watch them 2 dudes walk around that place and be like, what the fuck? Because that's how I was. I don't know if I can finish part 2, because I was literally almost in tears, because it just was like, it was just heartbreaking. And it was literally nothing wrong with it, except a couple people died in a tragic accident. The owner died from a broken heart, and that was just how shit just got all fucked up. So, I don't know. But I will talk more about this when I am ready to do Subject and Frill. I'll do a whole fucking deep dive into it. But, man, that fucking sucked watching that today. I don't know if I can get through part 2. But, not to end on a bleak note, but, man, yo, not that I think rich people watch my shit, because I'm just too off the damn wall, but yo, get some rich people to go fix that, because it is a part of American, like, not lexicon, but like part of Americana. It's part of our, and you people are supposed to be all pro-history and shit. Go fucking fix Lynnewood Hall and get your shit together. So, until next time, later.